Bahamian professionals. The Customs Management Amendment Regulations. So we've heard a lot of discussion about these regulations and the fees prescribed in them, right? You go on Facebook and it's like the end of the world for some of these cruisers. Yes, we've increased the fees, Madam President. We've also increased the duration of the cruising permit. And we have provided a framework for frequent visitors to the Bahamas. This is a balanced approach. You might recall cruising permits in the Bahamas used to be for 3 months. These regulations prescribe that they're for 12 months. We want to cater to the frequent visitors to the Bahamas. We want them to come and return and return and return. So we're now giving you 12 months on your cruising permit instead of 3. We are introducing a frequent digital cruising card for pleasure vessels for a period of 2 years. So you can get this digital card for 2 years, which allows you unlimited travel to the Bahamas. Once you have it, you can come and go for 2 years in the Bahamas, no questions asked, unlimited, no time prescribed, no number of trips prescribed. We've moved the threshold for the first tier of fees on this up to 50 feet. We heard the industry. The industry said, and we've seen the proliferation of larger recreational boats. Say 34 feet, which is what the regulations had, is too small. We hear you. Now we moved it to 50 feet. So those for this frequent digital cruising card, not exceeding 50 feet, is $1,500. Remember, that's for 2 years. Unlimited entry, that's all. Unlimited entry. Those exceeding 50 feet and not exceeding 100 feet, $2,500. And those exceeding 100 feet, $8,000. Now, those exceeding 100 feet who are frequent visitors in the Bahamas are generally those charter boats who base themselves out of the Bahamas. They generally sit here and charter straight out of the Bahamas. Their guests fly in and they get on the boat. So you now have unlimited visitation in the Bahamas for 2 years. Now remember, these boats, these luxury boats, charge up to $10,000 to $15,000, some $20,000 a day to charter. And we want to charge them $8,000 for 2 years. Hey, let's be real here. A temporary cruising permit, like I mentioned, is now valid for 12 months, Madam President. Was for 3 months. Now it's 12 months. We have likewise increased the threshold for the first tier of fees to 50 feet. We heard the discussion. My colleague John Pinder in Abaco called me, Madam President. You know what he said? He said, man, listen, Attorney General, we have boats 34, 40 feet that come over all the time from Florida to Abaco. And you know, this 34 feet metric is a little burdensome, right? You can appreciate this. You know all of the day and weekend cruisers that come to Abaco in their center console boats, right? And so he says that's a little bit, 34 feet's a little bit much. I said, no problem, no problem. So we increased that threshold for the first tier to 50 feet, which would take into consideration all of those center console cruisers that come to our islands on a frequent basis from Florida. So the fees for that, not exceeding 50 feet in length, is $500. $500 for a permit for 12 months. Now let me give you some context. You know what it was, Madam President? It was $300 for 3 months, an additional $500 to extend it for 12 months. That's $800 for a year. Now it's $500 for a year. In fact, it's less. It's less. It's less. Those exceeding 50 feet but not exceeding 100 feet pay $1,000 for 12 months. And those in excess of 100 feet, $3,000 for 12 months. We think these fees are fair, especially given the duration of time that they now cover. We have listened to the boating community and adjusted the first tier fees to 50 feet in vessel length. We have also implemented modest annual fees for vessels anchoring in our waters. With an exception, if you're at a marina or a mooring, you're exempt from paying those fees. We have crafted these to draw a balance between revenue to the Bahamas for use of our waters and the appropriate scales and size of vessels visiting the Bahamas, with a mind to be equitable and fair to the repeat visitors to our country.